here.
Brian.
Hey, Dr. Meadows, how you doing this afternoon?
Oh, pretty good. I did post in the zero DTE a couple of panels there.
Okay, let's check it
One's
out.
kind of the final result, that first one, and then the other one is the adjustment that was required. So I kind of kept it as two separate things. A lot of times I'll have everything on one slide here, but this is
Hmm.
basically the adjusted position. I put this on probably about 10:45-ish, something like that, and
Hmm.
started to take a little bit of heat on the call side and whatnot. It kind of went into
Hmm.
the red. And so this represents an adjusted call position. Now, if you click that right arrow,
Okay,
um,
so it looks like you probably did what you call a cash neutral adjustment, perhaps?
yeah, right. That's
Okay.
exactly right. So the 6280 was the original strike on the call side.
Hmm.
And then you see I kind of rolled up these put positions at 250, 374 kind of deal,
Hmm.
and collected on there and kind of for a wash in essence until the new strikes sort of settled in.
Hmm.
And that's what that final position was. So again, looking back, that original position
That's
probably
right.
would have flirted around with getting stopped out. The original call position at the
Hmm.
6280. Um, looking back at things,
Hmm.
it may, but we need to take a lot more heat.
Okay. All right. So it looks like you were down about 600 on that when you first did it, and you probably wrote up that put before you moved it. I'm not certain, but you can see here that once you did it, just moving it 5 points, and 5 points can be huge on a zero DTE trade. You got it all back at least on this screen to this point, and I think the market has settled down. So you're probably, if you're not out of the trade yet, you're probably fairly safe on that
Oh,
call side now.
oh, I'm out of it. Yeah,
You're out
I
of it.
close it
Okay.
out. Yeah,
Okay. You got about 1,800 on the day.
correct.
Okay. Okay.
Minus fees
Awesome.
and commissions, which is a
Yeah.
real thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it keeps it clean to say what was before fees and commissions, because fees and commissions can be different for us depending on, your negotiating skills with some of these brokerage firms and things like that, or whatever brokerage firm you're in. But this is definitely a nice win. You did it, a proactive adjustment before you were stopped out, and then you were able to ride it home and get the win that you wanted to get. So it's a great way to start the week off. Any questions for Dr. Meadows before we move on, you guys?
Yeah, I have a question. Hi, Dr. Meadows.
Before we continue with the video, I just want to quickly point out that if you're interested in learning more about the zero DT strategy or any other of the strategies that we teach here at Dorian Trader, you can check out our Dorian Way School. We're going to put the link in the description area. It will help you accelerate your learning process. Thanks for listening. Now back to the video.
So, can you just show me what you did by pointing at the numbers? I did this, then this, then this. And did you exit at 93.1%? That was your final exit. And
So
then
I can I can point for
Yes.
you because
can you
Dr.
point at
Meadows is not
everything
showing
else?
his he's not
Yeah,
showing his screen
Yeah.
right now.
yeah, that would be great.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Meadows, if you can see my screen, he started with the 6280 on the call side. That's the short leg. And
Right.
on the put side, it looks like he started with the 6200. That was the short leg as well. And then the market, as you know, Dr. Sophie, it started to go up. And so what he did was he removed this one. He bought this leg back, the short leg only, because that's how Dr. Meadows kind of does his. He moves the short legs only for the most part, unless the spread is pretty tight. Looks like you went, I don't know how wide you went today, maybe 30 points or something like that. Um, Dr. Meadows, it looks like. So anyway, he was down a little bit there, but still overall up on the overall trade, or basically cash neutral at that point. And then what happened, Dr. Sophie, is that he just moved it. He just rolled it away as we were talking about on our one-on-one.
I just posted kind of the more tabular thing where
Okay. Okay.
that I usually, because maybe it is a little simpler to see that way, but it's
Okay.
essentially the
Yeah.
same
Perfect.
thing all in one slide.
Okay. Let's blow it up a little. In this case here, you can see that this was the original call, the 6280. This was the original long leg. And so what he did was he was 65 points wide on the call side. And he was only, looks like he was only on the original put, he was 62. Uh, the original put was
Yeah.
65 points as well. All right, so there
Yeah.
you go. And so looking, he was even on both sides. You went a little wider today. I guess you were a little more comfortable. And then what you got stopped out? I mean, you didn't get stopped out. You did a
I just
proactive
rolled it.
adjustment, yes, and
Right.
you wrote it here to the 6285. And but what he also did was he took that first 6200 put and he moved it to the 6205, and then
And then
then it looks like you just added another position, another 22 here. on the put
Yeah.
side.
Now it's a little. I mean, here's the other thing. The 6205 that was actually 22. Okay. The 6200 that was so what wound up happening was
Oh, okay, I see. I understand now.
here's what wound up happening.
Okay.
I rolled the 6205 up to the 6220, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
see that, I only got $374 of booked profit, right? And my deficit on the call side at that moment was 630, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I rolled up the put and the call, and then I added on that 6200. It was 10 contracts and like $300 or something like that
Mm-hmm.
so that was like an extra little small position just to make up for what I would not been able to kind of collect
Okay.
enough with that roll. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what that was there.
Okay.
And the reason I did it was because honestly, I didn't want to roll up the whole 22 position up that close again in case we had a little drop or something like that. I kind of wanted to keep my
Correct.
deltas a little further away. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather put on a little more position that was far away to be able to withstand any kind of drop. That was
Okay.
my thought behind that. Yeah.
But you at the end you did end up
Mhm.
moving the 22 to
Yes,
this
correct.
6220 here. And so
Correct.
it might be confusing, Dr. Sophie, but it's basically what I was trying to tell you earlier, that we give you the root type of adjustments, and then sometime you have to add contracts, you have to go wider on whiffs, you have to do a few things to get the credit that you need to to still win on the trade, or to get the amount that you're trying to win on the trade, or to keep the trade safe, right? So originally, like he said, he didn't want to bring up that put side too much because he felt like maybe we can reverse. Once he got more confirmation or more, you know, kind of a conviction that we wasn't going to drop again, that's when he moved up that 6220. Okay?
Right, and then that's when you added the contracts, which gave you the premium that you eventually took away with you,
Correct.
the amount that you took away. So essentially, you moved 5 points on one side proactively,
Hmm.
then balanced it out on the other. Then, as you saw that you were doing quite well, you added contracts, and then you exited basically.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that he originally, with this 22, originally moved to the 6205, and he just didn't get enough, so he added 10 here, and then he
Right.
won on that. So that just removed that, and then he decided to get rid of the 6205 and then move it up to the 6220. Then you can see he won a lot on this one,
Yeah.
and so that allowed him to walk away with $1,800 because he also
Right.
won on the adjusted call, as you can see here.
Yeah.
And so there we go.
So
Um,
as you get more and more confident in the actual trade, Dr. Meadows, you're adding more contracts and going, actually, I'm going to win on this. I'm adding more contracts at this point.
Well, yes. And again, I kind of wanted to just like say fully pay for that roll.
mm,
And in times past, I probably would have rolled up far enough so that that initial minus $600 deficit, I'd have paid for it completely with that roll up. But honestly, I didn't want to come up too much further than the five delta, just because I just felt like, hey, maybe we'll have a drop or something like that. So adding kind of a half position or so, like it was like 10 contracts at like $300 or something like that, but still keeping it in that three delta-ish range. I felt better doing that than rolling up my original put positions enough to have gotten all of that 600 back, with just that
Yeah.
initial put. You know what I mean? Because like I said, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I fear the drop situation, or I did today
yes.
anyway.
And you
So
don't need to have the same amount of contracts on each side when you do
You,
that.
you don't have to, correct. And the other thing I could have done too is I could have also done like rolled up half of my original position to a more aggressive delta. I mean, that's another way that you could also do it too. So again, if you wind up getting that reversal, that'd have been a situation where I would have maybe gone home flat at that point if I got stopped out on the reversal as opposed to being negative. That's another thing you could do as well.